Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the WYW podcast. We cover all things Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Now here are your hosts, the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher, and the voices of Weymouth Youth Wrestling, Jonathan Cater and Nathan Farrar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first ever Weymouth Youth Wrestling podcast. I am the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher, and with me are the two special guests, the two voices of Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Could you fine gentlemen please introduce yourselves?
My name is Mr. Excitement, Jonathan Caterer.
And I'm the main man, Nathan Farrar.
Welcome to the show, fellas. It's great to have you on the air.
I'm glad that you gave me a soda.
Yeah, seriously. No, seriously. Like,
And
you
it
don't,
doesn't have booze
you have
in it
no
for
idea,
once.
like, okay, I don't know if you guys could tell, like, before, like, obviously, if people have noticed, they're probably going to point it out at some point, but when Nathan and I commentate the matches, we lose our voice. Like,
Sucks.
it's horrible.
It sucks.
Like, we have drinks on standby, but, like, when some crazy stuff happens,
Which happens every time.
because, I mean, this is what happens when you have a freaking world title on the line, but man,
You mean a belt that means something other unlike all the other promotions in the world?
yeah.
Hashtag shots fired.
Shots fired.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just, when we have drinks on standby, but it's so hard to maintain a full voice throughout the whole episode, which I'm sure you can tell and a lot of other people can.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah, trust
And
me.
anyway,
So, we are here tonight, after getting off of that tangent, to discuss the first 3 episodes of the Gold Rush tournament, as well as maybe drop a couple of hints at the future of Weymouth Youth Wrestling. So, fellas, where do you want to start?
I think we should start talking about the past, because Wise Man once said, you can't really go towards the future without looking back on the past and seeing what got you to the dance in the first place. So I think we should talk about what has happened thus far in the Gold Rush tournament. Before episode 4 comes out, we will be live from Orlando, Florida on January 10th. And it's going to be a crazy, crazy night. We got some matches on deck that we will be predicting. I think all 3 of us will. But first, I think we should talk about everything that has happened in the Gold Rush tournament thus far. I think we should start off with the first match that has happened. Victor Sagat versus Michael X.
what a match.
That was a spectacular match. Dude,
That is what defines the whole tournament.
that is how you start a tournament right there.
We know the condition. Victor is nursing a back injury still from that encounter. Fought with the back injury
All the way through.
which
He Daniel Bryan the match. He
Yes.
just said, I have
Yes, he
an
did.
injury, but I don't want to finish without the show going the way it should. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible. What an incredible way that match ended.
Victor, my bro, hats off to you, man.
yes. And obviously, some of the matches. I mean, we got to see what Victor Sagat is made of. Taking it to the limit against Michael X, a veteran of the sport for many, many years, and Victor just coming into his own the last 2 years in the pro wrestling industry. And
It was just incredible. It was a great match all around.
yeah, we got to see amazing athleticism
They
of
destroyed the ring and the
They
ring
destroyed just about everything.
We
Yeah.
like, if nobody understands, every single time we go to commercial break, we have to repair that damn table.
And I have no idea how you guys do it so quick.
And we have
it's like we have a pick. No, I'll tell
we
you
have a
what
pit
we have.
crew on standby.
I'm not even joking. Like, you think that's a joke, but we do. Like, there's a pit crew on standby when we're commentating the match to repair the damn table.
And to get stuff out of the ring as well. It's just because there's by the end of the night, like, we have to kind of wash down some of the ring mats and stuff like that because it's just covered in blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
These guys go nuts.
It's absolutely incredible what these men will put themselves through just to get a shot at being the first ever Weymouth Youth Wrestling heavyweight champion.
Because for 4 years we went without a title.
Yep.
For 4 years, me and John have been on the road commentating these matches. We know these guys. We know exactly what they can do. And we know the new guys coming in a little bit. But specifically, we know, like Mike, Alex, and I on the weekends, we hang out. We do things. When John and I aren't, talking about life and things like that outside the company, we go to James Archangel's house and play the N64. We just have fun.
Yeah. James Archangel has an N64?
He loves No Mercy.
Dude, I gotta hang out with this guy.
It's funny. It's funny.
And most of the time when we ask Sean Maverick to hang out, he mostly says, thank you, but no thank you. I'm in the middle of doing some intensive training. This guy's always ready to go. But that's just an example of some of the guys outside of this.
Man, I gotta say, I am quite jealous of you guys. You are intimately familiar with these men and women. You have great games to call, and you've got the best seat in the house.
Yes, we do. Yeah, very true.
No, the camera guys have the best seat in the house because they're right there when the action happens. They're the ones that get the shots ready to go. And honestly, that was the first career I thought about before going into the commentary section. I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to be the cameraman. And honestly, it kind of shows with the first ever test match because that was me trying to do the coordination, and then we got somebody way better to do it. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but we have a better choreographed man that knows what he's doing and knows what spots that needed to be highlighted. And it's incredible.
Man, you guys got a pit crew. You got an excellent camera crew. You've got guys that make the entrances and matches look like $1 million.
And plus, we're the only company out there that can afford pyro. So,
other than New Japan,
shots fired aside, we got to take our hats off to the unsung heroes because, man, those guys deserve all the praise and adulation at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's really Jim Cornette doing what he's doing. When he was given the funding and everything to do WYW the way that he wanted to do it, he was the first one that said we need to do a tournament. He called me and John on the phone, and he said, listen, we got to do the tournament. There's going to be a lot of, let me give my best on him. I'm really tired of you guys not being able to have a lot of fun on the ring and stuff like that. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to fix whatever bullshit you're trying to do because right now you're not doing it great.
Yeah.
It's not fantastic. I feel like you could do a lot better. And, that's the end result.
Yeah, no kidding. Ever since Jim Cornette has joined in, and not even just Jim Cornette, but we'll get how he got into touch with Markiplier, which we'll talk about later on. But since he's joined the crew,
it's been incredible.
Holy crap, it's been
absolutely incredible. So you guys have a stacked roster, and the not only the know-how to best utilize it, but the balls to be able to experiment and see where else these cats might be better utilized.
Now,
absolutely.
It's absolutely a win-win situation for everyone.
We've been around for the 4-year mark now. And I'm glad that we were able to do it in the 4-year time because it just gave us so much time. Everybody's all ready to go. Everybody's all pumped. We got one of the best medical doctors in the industry. It's shocking.
Yeah, no kidding.
What he's able to do. He's a master surgeon. But, we could talk about the crew all night and how awesome everybody is, but we're talking about what makes WYW WYW and why it is the best CAW league in the world, maybe one of the best wrestling promotions out there right now. And
we're not just talking about just the wrestlers. We're talking warriors.
That's absolutely.
I want to use that word very distinctly.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. These men are gladiators.
They see something they want it. They will fight till one of them is either unconscious or maybe almost dead.
And I don't know how they do it without killing each other, because I know some of these people really want each other off the face of the earth.
We'll discuss that when we talk about the matches.
We'll get to that down the road.
But as we said, we talked about the first match.
Right, Victor Sagat versus Michael X.
Which was incredible.
All right.
The second match is also fantastic as well.
Don't even worry about it. Light just went off. Don't even worry about it. We can still we still have talking powers.
Yep.
So
anyway, the second match, John, if you would.
Oh,
it's one of your favorite matches of the night.
I think that this...
It was a battle of tag team partners, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an incredible... aerial display.
It showed how much people are willing to fight for this.
And it shows how well these combatants know each other. Because, again, a lot of these competitors have been here since day one.
Yep.
Michael X foremost among them.
The original 5 the original 6 were Sean Maverick, Ian Lancaster, James Archangel, Michael X, Chris Phoenix, and Jones Meister. Jones Meister kind of went away for a little bit because he had
some stuff that he was doing
personal reasons, but now he's come back because he heard what has been going on and he wouldn't miss this for the world.
And on top of that, we also had Brandon and Eddie who came in a little bit later. They're a part of the Big 12 that showed up, but it's just been a fantastic ride so far because we've just worked with some really good talent.
And it's been a hell of a roller coaster as well. Ups, downs, periods where the company was almost legally declared dead. And now we have...
Legally to the fans' eye. Let's be honest, I'm going to be super honest. Not all wrestling fans are super right when it comes to something like a dead company because we pulled out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. The Phoenix is rising, no pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
But
no pun intended. Come on. But obviously, so let's talk about Chris Phoenix and Jones Meister. The aerial display, the martial arts,
they just knew each other in and out.
And they tore it up.
Yes, they did.
They are a very popular duo, and when it comes to outside of WYW, they are fantastic around the world.
Yes.
You can go to any independent promotion and watch them wrestle, and they're great.
Yeah, it's absolutely
It doesn't matter
incredible.
where you go. They could be... See, here's the whole thing. When we told them that we're doing the whole tournament thing, they went, awesome. Don't worry about pay. We don't give a damn.
Yeah.
We gotta pay you something. But they were just, no, we want to compete. They'll fight from backyard wrestling industries all the way up to something like this.
And that is a testament to the kind of men these two guys are. Such underrated, under-promoted, just absolute wonderful company men. They will do whatever they have to do to make sure your company is number one.
Absolutely.
And we cannot say that enough about probably 75% of our roster.
Yeah.
At least.
And it's the end result is we got to watch 2 high flyers do their best thing. We got to see 2 tag team partners who the nickname was the Almost Cousin Alliance, and that's an inside joke that I'll discuss one day when we get the chance off air to talk about it.
Yes.
But
I am very interested to hear this story.
I will definitely tell you after we go into this because it's really funny, but who knows, maybe I'll put it into a comment or something on YouTube or whatever when this gets uploaded. But the end result is this. They are so close. They've been together since they were born.
Yep.
They've been best friends since they were kids. Their families knew each other. That's why they are the way they are. Yep. They are literally cousins. In their minds, they are cousins. But to everybody else, not so much. So they just know the ins and outs. They are just fantastic together. And watching them in a tag team match is some of the craziest high-flying technique you'll ever see. These guys are so pinpoint accurate with all their moves. It's insane.
And a lot of the moves they're pulling off, especially when they're pulling ladders into the mix, it's like so little margin for error, and yet these guys come through smelling like a rose. I have no idea how they do it.
It's a lot of training. They've been training in Japan. They've done all the necessary training over there, the hardcore matches and stuff like that. But a lot of the aerial skills all from AAA. All their aerial skills come from the AAA.
Or Lucha Libre in general.
True.
I mean, anywhere that has a lightweight division. Because Chris Foster and Jonas, this is generally speaking, obviously, what Nathan said about, most of the guys that are high flyers. But
Chris Phoenix and Jonas
got their high flying style from Chicago. And if you know Chicago, the likes of CM Punk, the likes of Cole Cabana, Chris Hero, lots of lucha style is embedded within that wrestling industry. If you don't notice it before, you'll notice it very much now, especially in CM Punk's early Ring of Honor days.
But in any case, we're not talking about CM Punk.
Yeah, no, I'm using him as an example.
I know.
Yeah, but we don't want to get too tangential here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the next match on the card, which is just...
John, if you would.
Go right ahead, man.
Oh, boy. It's Matt Mann versus Ian Lancaster.
These two hate. I can tell you this from a personal perspective, knowing both of these guys. They're very good men. Ian, a little bit on the edge sometimes. But these guys absolutely hate each other.
I got to tell you guys, the first time I laid eyes on Ian Lancaster, I was a little bit unnerved because it was like the Joker had was not quite done with his makeup, but he realized, oh God, I better get my next phase in motion, otherwise shit's gonna go straight to hell. But let's be honest, the guy can go.
Yes, he can.
He is one of the best mat technicians in wrestling today.
And such conditioning, stamina. I don't think I've ever seen such, willingness to continue when everything is against you and your body is just screaming, no, you idiot. What are you doing? We've got to rest and relax and heal up. Ian Lancaster just says, screw you, man. I'm doing whatever I have to do.
Now, he got screwed over pretty bad.
Absolutely.
Out of everybody in the tournament so far, he got screwed over pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friggin'.
But talking to Jim about it, there was nothing that we could do.
No, there wasn't.
There was no physical there was no physical evidence in that ring of him ever showing up.
You have to use your imagination because the lights were all out. No one could see what the hell was going on. And,
hell, even our own crew couldn't see what was going on.
And
they were right there.
It's just it's a shame. I'll tell you that. It's a freaking shame.
But everybody gets their own at the end of the day.
Yeah. And we'll get to that later.
But again, Matt Harrington is just fantastic. He's an incredible mat technician. Those two are just great in the ring. I would say that's one of the most technical matches I've seen when it comes to what I like to call the first act of WYW, where we get into the beginning part of it, a little bit of what's going to be going on. But yeah, they definitely tore the house down. It was incredible. And then, of course, we get into the last match of the night.
Yet another battle of the partners.
And with a broken arm. A nice twist, I guess you could say.
I don't know if it's a nice twist, but...
Brandon and Eddie have an on and off relationship. That's the only real way that I can really put it. They...
On and off.
Yeah, I guess you could say it like that.
Okay.
They have their moments where they hate each other for 6 months. 6 months later, they're best friends. 6 months later, they hate each other. It's on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. It's so strange. But when they're together in the ring, as a tag team or against each other, it's always interesting.
Yep.
Because Eddie when I first met him, he was a short, kind of chubby guy.
Now he's gotten
slim, and now he's got the speed and momentum that he needs to pick up wins. And it's incredible to see this momentum change in an athlete. It's fantastic.
Yep.
To see him go 100% into this match. And it's a shame that he's still in relatively bad condition to this day. His arm was he's
getting better, and he's doing his best with rehab. And Brandon felt really bad after. He did not expect that was going to happen, but Eddie would not stay down. Eddie kept getting back up.
There was no
matter what Brandon threw at him.
There was no other alternative for that match to end.
And it's gotta hurt. I mean, even though they have this on again, off again relationship, it's gotta hurt. I assume they were on their on period.
Yeah,
I guess you could say it like that. They're what I like to call awkward best friends.
Okay,
where they love each other so much as best friends, but they can't friggin' stand to be in the same room together. If you can understand what I'm talking about.
I absolutely can. And when you are that close with somebody, especially somebody whose company you enjoy, even if only on an on again, off again basis, when you're on, it's gotta cleave your heart in two to do something like that to somebody you care about.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
I can imagine the tears on Brendan's eyes when he saw how badly Eddie was hurting.
I'm going to guess he's going to have a tough time in the next round. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's got to go through his next match with that still on his conscience.
And he's going to be distracted.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He definitely was distracted in the match.
It's upsetting because
but that's for the future. The whole thing is, at the end of the day, he's going to constantly think about what happened when it happened.
Yep.
And there was no there. He could have said, I could have done this at this angle, at this angle. At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell him now. You can't beat yourself up, man. What happened. You can't. This is wrestling.
And even Eddie forgave him. Like he said, dude, I would not stay down. I wouldn't have done the same. I would have done the exact same thing to you if you didn't do it to me.
Just at a different angle.
Yeah, probably.
Into the ring, but
No. He would have.
Yeah,
he
right.
would have, dude. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's be honest.
If it wasn't to the ape ring, it would have been to the outside. He's right. I mean, they were competing for the world title. It wasn't
true.
tag
That's
titles.
true.
or at least a shot at the world title.
Yeah, they were competing for that belt. They've been fighting for this chance, and we finally got it.
Yeah, and then of course we have part 2 of Act 1.
Right.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that. So obviously that first one was in Boston, Massachusetts.
We got home. We went homegrown. We went straight to the Garden. We had a lot of fun.
Straight to the Garden. That was an outdoor arena, wasn't it? For episode 1?
Was it?
Yeah, no, it was.
Oh, it's because I thought that there was a roof, and then we blew it off like at the first 5 minutes of the match.
Yes,
No, that wasn't that wasn't
That was an outdoor arena. You're
right.
correct.
That was not at the Garden. That was
that was absolutely correct.
that was at Harvard University Field.
Yes, it was.
On the other side of the river.
yes.
A lot of the same crowd. I swear, I see those faces like almost everywhere I go.
It's kind of weird, actually.
It's really freaky.
Because
I think they follow us. It's really freaky, but
Hey, you know what? It's like UCW. They had their legion of fans. We have ours.
yeah,
it's our
and that's how all upstart
travel
companies
across
begin.
the friggin' country to see us. That's-
Okay, so into episode 2 of round 1, coming to us live from.
Coming to us live. I understand. Coming to us live. We were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Ah, yes.
the home of
And-
the mighty Penguin hockey team.
Yes.
I'm a hockey fan. I enjoy hockey.
Nothing wrong with that.
I enjoy wrestling a little bit more.
No question.
That's why I'm a commentator. But
But I want to say
yeah.
also the second or the first really home of Extreme, of which was the ECW, which even Jim Cornette would have been a fool not to mention, and I think he realized that he actually mentioned it, which is kind of ironic because Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman we know don't have necessarily the best relationship,
but even Jim could even agree that it's like, yeah, this is kind of where everything kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of stuff kind of started. This is where barbed wire baseball bats became a thing.
yes.
Hi, Barbie.
Which, if anybody ever asks, hey guys, would you put a barbed wire baseball bat? No, we're not giving the athlete. Listen. These guys break guitars, crutches, chairs,
Title belts.
Yep.
bats, ladders, tables, trash cans.
Everything.
We're not giving them a weapon that they could light on fire.
Yep.
With the table. We're not going to give them a weapon that has serrated metal on it. No way.
Yeah, no,
Not a chance in hell.
That will never be.
Especially like Jim Cornette was like not even budging when he decided this.
Yeah,
But-
and I can understand why. I mean, even I'll be the first to admit I like
The
me
baseball
some.
bat was enough, he said.
I like me some blood and guts in my hardcore matches, but even I think the barbed wire baseball bat was kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
So I can understand why Jim Cornette made the call that he did.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we already have
Smart.
enough. We already have enough people busted open as it is.
Trust
Right?
me. It took convincing from 5 athletes to get the baseball bat in the ring.
Yeah.
Because they said, "What's a wrestling match?
And one of them-
baseball bat."
and one of
He
them-
goes, not baseball.
And one of them is basically Sting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but that was an aluminum bat. We have a freaking Louisville Slugger
We
always
got
inside
a wooden
the fucking
baseball bat
ring.
under the ring.
It's ridiculous.
So there's the risk of splinters as well in all this.
Well,
Probably.
let's
But, yeah,
get on to
all right.
that first match of Act 2.
Okay.
Of Act 1, Part 2.
Yes, we will talk about that. Johnny Starr versus Little Andre.
That was a match I couldn't have predicted if you told me.
No way.
I had no idea that ending was even going to happen.
We all thought because of just the
Andre was just beating him.
yeah.
And beating him and breaking him and beating him and beating him and beating him the
Johnny
entire match.
would not stay down.
It's that heart determination, man.
He took pump handle tosses through ladders. He took super kicks into ladders. He took super
A-bombs into tables.
He took an A-bomb onto a bat and a sledgehammer simultaneously. he would not stay down. He took an elbow drop through a table, as you mentioned. Yes. He took everything.
He just wouldn't stay down.
He would not stay down, for the life of him.
Who knew? To give a little backstory, if nobody really knows anything about, Johnny Starr and who he is and everything.
Who knew green-haired elves could be so badass?
I knew you were going to go there. But he's a graduate of the Heart Dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's a graduate.
Okay.
The very last graduate of the Heart Dungeon.
Okay, screw you, Tyson Kidd.
The end result is that at the end of the day, you can see a lot of it, but a lot of his training, he decided to go outside of the States.
Yep.
You can see with a lot of his moveset, a lot of specific moves. But the crossface was something very specific, and I don't know why he picked it. I still, to this day, don't know the full story on that. I've asked him 100 times, and he goes, I'll tell it to you one day. He never gave me the story on that. I couldn't figure out why.
Well, I mean, at the very end of the day,
it's an incredible...
Whatever it is, whatever the story is behind it, he used it and tapped out the tank.
He tapped out one of the hardest to tap out people in the entire thing.
And for that, I got to give him props. That was... That had me on the edge of my seat, especially towards the end.
Yeah, I think what really did it for Andre was, and I think we can all...
Johnny beat him in stamina.
But I think we should all agree that the Maggie Daddy mindset was his detriment. And I think
if he was focused and made sure that every single move, because you could tell with a lot of his moves, he wasn't hitting 100%.
After that last A-bomb, and I'd even say really the pump handle slam, or the pump handle toss rather, through the ladder, he did that twice. Then he wanted to punish him more by going to the top rope, and that's what did him in.
Yeah.
And he did that numerous times in the match, where he hit the A-bomb, where he hit everything. Everything but the kitchen sink this dude hit, and he would not go for the cover. He would not go for a submission.
He was too focused on trying to...
I don't even know. Carry out Mark Young's mission from almost looked like from Test Match 17, wasn't it? Where he just wanted to end Johnny Starr, which screw it if I know why. I don't know what their issue is with him. I think
the end result is that in order to be on top, instead of their mindset of working hard and trying their best and doing every possible thing that they can do to achieve their goal, they instead would rather cheat and find methods around what they're doing. And it's kind of upsetting, actually.
Yeah.
Because I would absolutely 110% prefer if they just wrestled like it was a wrestling match.
Yep.
Instead of trying to find sneaky, hidden ways and all this other fun stuff to get around moves. And it's kind of ridiculous, actually.
I agree.
I also agree. I mean, I would not blame Little Andre for taking a shortcut or two, because, do whatever you can to win, but don't end a guy's career just to use him as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
just straight up Jabroni-ville, even for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. What, are you called or something in the office?
I got a phone call from the office. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. No problem. Go for it. I don't know. So we'll talk about it a little more, obviously. But Johnny was able to tap him out with the Canadian crossface.
And God bless him for being able to do so.
Yep, absolutely.
Canada was in a state of joy that day.
Yeah, no kidding. It was a great day for Canada.
Absolutely.
But after the match, just kept assaulting him.
Yep.
Just kept attacking him. Until not Johnny Starr, but he was the one getting his ass kicked. But until Kyle Weaver and Jason G run down for the save and, chase off Andre.
And thank God they did, because had they not, I don't know if Johnny Starr's still walking today.
Yeah, I agree. And he'll be taking on Brett Mention, who we will be talking about as well in his match with Jonathan Brady. But he'll be taking him on round 2. It was just a really, I would say, just a pathetic. First off, there was poor sportsmanship.
Oh, loads of it.
Not to mention, he was already trying to end the guy's career in the freaking match. So
no one ever accused the Maggie Daddy men of being good sports.
Yeah, no kidding. No freaking kidding. But yeah, I would have to say, it was a good match.
It was an excellent match.
It was freaking fantastic. How's the phone call? Who was that?
That was Jimmy Boy.
Jim Cornette.
Yep.
Any more announcements he wants us to make?
Yeah, seriously, he's calling us in the middle of the podcast.
You know how he is.
No kidding.
That's true.
He says, good job on episode 3.
Thank you.
He enjoyed it a lot. He said, if that one guy...
Yeah, can you tell this motherfucker to get me some damn vinegar? Seriously, or something to help my throat and soothe it so we can commentate the match effectively?
I can get you some honey drops.
Something.
He expected you to say that, and I'm going to only quote him. You know me. I'm only quoting. Stop being a bitch and suck it up.
Whatever.
I can get you some honey drops.
He said he'll figure that out later. Right now, he's focusing on a whole tournament. But anyway, all he said was, congratulations. It was a great show. Everybody enjoyed it. The ratings were really good.
Yeah.
He just hopes that we can get higher ratings every single episode, like anybody else would.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
But in any case, where were we?
We were just talking about the end of the beatdown at the end of the first match of episode 2.
Yep. We talked about the poor sportsmanship, obviously.
Obviously.
If you want to talk about it, you can give your thoughts.
All I'm going to say is they're Maggie Daddy men. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
They're all like that.
Especially their leader, who we'll get to at some point in the future.
Oh, yes. The next match. John, you know where we're going with this.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
Mr. Caterer?
Match.
Well,
Johnny boy, come on, man.
Oh boy. Jonathan Brady versus Brett Mention. What to say?
That's an incredible technical match.
It was.
It's brutal, it's technical, and they did a fantastic job hyping the crowd up, getting everybody on their feet.
Obviously, I think there are five spots that happen in that match.
Yes.
Which no one could believe even happened. Jonathan Brady gets DDT, it was Jonathan Brady gets DDT'd on the ladder and steps right at the beginning of the match by Brett Mention, and then he goes and hits an unbelievable
John
leg
still
drop.
has a concussion.
Yeah, no kidding. He's healing.
How's Brett doing?
Brett's great.
Brett doesn't give a shit. I can't get in the hold of that guy. Dude, literally, the name unknown is not what we picked. It's who he is. You try to call him on the phone to see what's up, you can't. Unless he specifically knows who's going to call him at what date, he'll pick up the phone. He never picks up the goddamn phone.
He answered me once
about what he's trying to do.
He answered me one time, and
in 4 years.
Yeah. He answered me one time, and it was fucking. It was like pretty much right after his match, and according to what he told me,
yes,
he's okay, and he's good to go,
phone.
and that was it. I'm like, are you kidding me? 4 years, and those are the words he speaks to me. Not hi, not how was your day? Oh, what kind of coffee you like? No, you just yeah, I'm good. I'll see you next round.
I
mean, that dude's all business.
One time in 4 years, and he doesn't even say 10 words to you?
Nope.
It's because he's a very, like...
Now you know how Nathan feels around girls. No, I kid. I jest. I saw him at a bar with a very nice young lady a couple of days ago.
She was 12. Anyway. Whoa! He said young!
Whoa!
I'm kidding! I'm not a pedophile. Oh my god.
I hope you're not.
Well, thank you for running with it, but damn!
Dude, if you got a joke that's really good,
I hope you wouldn't. No, I hope you wouldn't run with that, because that is bad PR,
that's
dude.
How you get blocked on YouTube. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, unless you take Paul or Logan Paul.
Yeah, anyway, we're not talking about the Pauls. We're talking about a Brady. And we're talking about a Mention. Just to mention the Brady. Anyway,
Unintentional pun is unintentional.
Oh, yeah. that match is just brutal all the way around. And I always have this one question for John, and his answer is, I totally forgot what type of match it was until they packed up all my stuff and brought it to the back. I asked him, it's an Extreme Rules match, right? Yeah. Why didn't you keep the helmet on? His answer, it was exactly that. I forgot it was an Extreme Rules match, and I was too late before they took all my stuff to the back, but all LeBrett's stuff.
Yeah. That sucks, huh?
Yeah, doesn't it?
Probably would have won, too, because those headbutts, man.
Yeah,
I don't know why he brought the football helmet in a wrestling match. I mean...
As a weapon. I told him he could have used it as a weapon at the start of the match.
I don't know.
That would have been the best weapon that he could have used. He probably could have knocked him out with one hit.
And he thinks he has the head of Jason G.
No, not at all.
No, he doesn't.
He ain't no coconut head.
No, he's not. It's absurd.
He's got a hard head, but he ain't no coconut head.
But anyway, John, obviously that was the first spot, was the DDT into the steps and ladder, the leg drop.
It was just
the next was the twisting suplex that Brett mentioned has into the ladder, which did not get him the 3. Then the gut wrench powerbomb into not only the apron but onto the ladder as well. That was freaking absurd.
Absolutely.
That's probably a good way to sum up most of the matches that have taken place thus far.
Yes.
Absurd amounts of punishment.
And let's talk about the biggest spot of the match. Brett mentioned literally bounces off the ropes, gets a full head of steam, runs up the ladder. We're talking about a linebacker here. We're not just talking about a high flyer. We're talking about a linebacker, and he flies through the air and hits a spear through our announcer table.
It was incredible.
That was
That was one of the best
behemoth of a man flies through the air and spear Brett mentioned through our table, and all I could think of, oh God, I'm going to die.
Would you like to hear what
Brown pants factor, sky high.
Yeah,
hear what he said?
You're kidding.
Would you like to hear what he said? I have his text right
Yeah,
now.
please do.
You ready? Because you're going to laugh your ass off.
Go ahead.
When I say it. Hey, how you doing, John? My head still hurts after the spear to the table. Why is that? I forgot that I was running up a ladder and the altitude of that drop. When I hit the spear, I by accidentally smacked my head in between the rim of the table.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what did him in, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
I did not even think of that. That's why he was down after the bullhammer.
The next minute, I realized I was looking up in the air.
Oh my God, Jonathan!
And then I was getting pinned.
Jonathan Brady.
He blacked out at that point.
Good God.
He blacked out right at that point. He said he woke up after the bull hammer to the head.
Oh my God.
Top rope.
Serious.
Oh my God, Jonathan Brady, man, you seem like a sweet kid, but dude, get yourself some brains.
His buddies Chris and Owen. Owen's got sunglasses. Chris is a franchise. He has a helmet. He didn't wear the helmet in the Extreme Rules match.
Seriously,
He didn't wear
John
the
Brady,
helmet.
you seem like a sweet kid, but get yourself some brains, man. It's gonna do you some good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
even though he's a friggin' genius out
He
there.
is a genius. There's no
He's
doubt
smart.
about it.
He's one of the best sports guys I know. He can tell you the entire team's roster in like 10 seconds. It's insane. But
that's beside the point.
oh, yeah.
I mean,
and that ending moment of the match, that shot was so loud. I could hear from commentary the sound of that elbow hitting right dead center of his forehead.
Yep.
Oh
It was
man,
insanely loud.
It was nuts.
It sounded
man.
like somebody took like a cookie sheet and banged it off a table as hard as they possibly could.
And it went
through.
through the entire arena. I was there for it.
I thought the crowd was going to go silent.
Oh, wow.
The crowd's roar, if you cut the crowd, we had an editing guy do it, cut the crowd out, that thing was so loud, he could hear the echo from the rafter.
Wow. It was
When he was doing the lighting from above. He heard the friggin' echo from the rafter. It was insane.
It knocked him clean out, and
There's no way to get up from that.
no,
way.
not a chance in hell.
It was nuts. It was a amazing match, and if you want to see technical wrestling and high octane innovation, that match is the one you want to see because These guys pulled some stuff out of their ass that I've never seen any wrestler do in their lifetime.
And then we have the next match on the card.
Oh boy.
Azareth Smith versus Matthew Nova.
I'm going to quote one of the great reviewers that we have, Mr. Russell Fortune 44, also known as Owen Finch. Moonsault at the 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 moonsault, because that's what that entire friggin' match was.
The sad part is you sound...
Casey, can I get a drum beat with that?
Moonsault at the 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 moonsault.
This match
was freaking unbelievable.
Hang on, Mr. Caterer. Hang on, Mr. Caterer. Nate, the sad part is you sounded just like Owen.
You kind of did.
Thanks very much. We're so proud of you.
Bro, that wasn't a compliment.
Dude, you know, next day he sees you, he's probably gonna be freaking looking at you like, dude, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
He's gonna look at you. I am going to
catch me
punch you.
Man.
All right. Anyway,
I thought you said you were the main man.
I am the main man, but I'm also very good with gingerbread cookies. Anyway.
okay.
Well,
anyway,
we're not talking about my awesome gingerbread cookies made out of sweet ginger. No. What we're talking about here is one of the best high-flying matches you're going to see in any company around the world.
Yeah.
Because these guys were full octane. These guys were going into maximum goddamn overdrive the entire friggin' match.
Yeah.
And that ending moment, and you know it's the ending moment, when that huge pop from the top rope and he hits the ground from the death from above. When you hear the sound
scary.
of him
Not
bouncing off the ladder,
let's talk about.
Sounded like he killed him.
Matt and Azareth
Matt's got
would
some balls
not
for Canadian.
stay down. Neither one of these guys. And these guys were hitting moves on chairs, ladders, tables, everything that you can imagine. And neither one of these men would stay down.
No.
It took a super move from the top rope.
He's only pulled that out twice.
He has.
And that move, he says, I hate doing. I hate when I have to pull that thing out because it requires all my upper body strength. And then as soon as that sudden drop hits, he thinks he kills somebody, and it goes through his head for a few seconds. Did I just kill him? Now, to let him know, he's done that only with the ladder. He says, I'll never use it with the chair. Or as I would love to say, he will never use it with the steps because he knows he'll kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's one of the most brutal moves in all of wrestling history.
It is. I mean, we've seen people take the move, obviously. Razor Ramon, when he first invented it and called it the Razor's Edge, but that dude never did it from the top rope.
Never.
And there was a reason for that.
Yeah.
He almost killed him.
Yeah.
He could have, but the end result is he's so pinpoint accurate with those drops. It's insane.
Yep. I mean,
no matter how heavy the guy was, and we have one pre.
We can talk about let's talk about the first spot, obviously,
absolutely.
With that, because Azareth lifts up Matt Nova, and they're on the outside by this point, and there's a chair just in between the steps and the floor, and it's at an angle, and Azareth smashes Matt Nova's head. At the back of his head hits the chair and breaks it
in one hit.
It was ridiculous.
And this is a man who's fighting for redemption as well as a shot at that title.
Yep.
Azareth lives, and people can ask, yes, I know what Azareth lives like. He lives up in a cabin in the woods by himself, and he doesn't bother anybody. He doesn't use television. He reads books all day.
Yeah.
But he's not a vegan. I asked him that because I felt really bad when I brought over some kebabs. He was having a cookout. I felt really bad about that. And John can even tell you that he's very stingy when it comes to meats.
Yeah.
He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he kind of is.
But to begin with, he's a sweet, nice guy. He just doesn't bother anybody. He minds his own business. But he is the scariest son of a bitch I've ever had to meet.
Yeah,
let me put that on there. One of the scariest Sons of bitches.
Does he ever take that mask off?
Yeah, he's had the hair in the ponytail. We've seen him, and he's taken off the
Well,
face
I mean, he's taking the mask off, and then he has the face paint, obviously.
But he's taking the face paint off. We've seen him without the face paint and with his hair back, and he just looks like a normal guy. He doesn't bother anybody. You could put him in the crowd, and nobody would ever notice him. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, obviously, we talk about Test Match 20, and the stare down between Azareth, James Archangel, and Michael X. And
it was just that moment that
we knew what this tournament was going to be after
Azareth, James, and Mike trained together.
Yep.
They've traveled across the whole friggin' world together. They've had matches and matches and matches, and Azareth is not one of the original 12 like everybody thinks he is. He was an addition, and he was recommended by both James the Archangel and Mike, but Jim had no idea what to do with him. He goes, I don't know what match I could put him in, and James was like,
put me
sure,
in
I'll do it.
And
that match is still brutal to watch to this very day.
Yeah, that ladder match is
it's incredible to watch because it's just so damn brutal.
If you did not know what Azareth could do before, you do now in this match, because Azareth brutalized Matt. I mean, he hit the death from above 4 times, and he hit it on the steps. He hit the Super 1 off the top of the ladder, and Matt held his own relatively through most of the match. He hit Nova Bomb after Nova Bomb, that freaking high-octane kick that he has.
But it just didn't matter. Every single thing that he tried, it just didn't friggin' matter.
Absolutely. And the moonsault off, as we mentioned before.
Yep. It was incredible. I've never seen 2 high flyers go that nuts, to have so much adrenaline and energy in their system that they could just bounce off the ropes all damn day long.
Yep.
And that proves that WYW has some of the best high flyers, mat technicians, well-rounded mat experts, ring experts in the entire world.
Yes, it does.
Because these guys can hit a pin. You can aim a small item in the ring and they'll hit it every single friggin' time.
Yep.
You can put a quarter in the center of the ring and they'll hit an elbow drop on it all day long.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Matt Nova had just as much chance as anybody, especially because of his ring skills, to be a fantastic champion, heavyweight champion, whatever. But that night was just Azareth's night.
And
it was.
It's because Azareth has Matt's fresh and new.
He is. Obviously, he has won Canadian gold before.
He has, but he's fighting a guy who's traveled around the world.
Winning world titles all over the place.
And it's kind of scary and nuts.
Yep.
And then we get on to the main event.
Of that night, James Archangel versus Luke O'Lucky.
Man.
Luke's a new guy. Luke's completely new.
Like, he's I don't think he's ever wrestled except for maybe in a small-time promotion in Ireland.
He's got some balls.
He was a complete rookie and made an impact.
Dude, give it up for the new guy.
Luke O'Lucky is what I like to call the dive bar fighter. Where he'll go into a dive bar, he'll have a few drinks, and if anybody tries to have a problem with him, he just starts punching their heads in.
Yeah.
And he'll keep punching their heads in until there's nothing left.
Yeah.
And he's a scary dude. But he's one of the funniest sons of bitches you'll ever meet.
Really?
He is one of the funniest guys you will ever meet.
Oh my gosh.
He can tell you stories upon stories all day long. He's got one which I love so friggin' much. He goes, I walked into a bar and there was 3 guys. By the end of the night, there was 2 because I punched the other one out of the door.
No, the best one was...
That's an Irishman story for you.
Dude, when he... honestly, like, I'm a huge fan of James Archangel. I'd say it.
He's
I'm a mark for him. I'm a mark for him. I know.
I wonder why.
Probably shouldn't be probably shouldn't be a mark for him.
But listen,
but I am.
Behind the desk, we're not super biased, okay?
Or at least you try not to be.
We try not to be.
But with James Archangel, man, he had a tough task. First off, I want to talk about the promo he cut before because, oh man, Luke O'Lucky. Oh boy.
He did.
Goes and says this dude, I don't know if he's crazy or just trying to make people laugh or what.
Both.
But he goes up and looks to the Lord as he's like, He said, I don't think you know. When we Irishmen are born, we are taught to talk to God. And then he just looks up into the sky, and he's like, yes, Father.
And he walks away for a few seconds, and then he comes back.
He literally walked out of the shot, and he's just like, yeah? Okay, yeah, I'll tell him. He was, you know what he was looking at, too? And this is off center because he demanded it to be that way. It was a freaking rosary bead.
He's insane.
Rosary bead. He's like, yes, Father.
Just a one rosary bead?
Yeah, just one rosary bead. He went over there, and he's like, yes, Father. Okay, I'll tell him. And then, he cut the whole ridiculous promo saying, God's on my side, but you're fucked.
And
okay.
And let's be fair, Luke is just, he's got the rookie thing in him. He thinks he's a lot of talent. But he actually showed he is. He doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, he did.
It was incredible. I would have to say it's one of the best matches on the card so far when it comes to that round, because it's a mixed bag. You have high flying and you have technical wrestling. You have brawling versus luchador skill and ability. You have drunken fist boxing mixed in with Japanese style high flying. It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It's all over the damn place, and it's great.
It was a clash of styles in every sense of the word. I mean, if you wanted to see, first off, also a clash of personalities. The humble Archangel,
the humble God guy
versus the unhumble Irish Catholic. Let's be real.
The brazen Irish Catholic.
Yes. It was funny, and it was also a spectacular match to
watch.
to
think, that's when he's sober.
Oh, God. I don't know if I want to run into him when he's drunk.
He's way funny.
We're talking about the Dublin press through the table. Holy crap. He
brutalized
him.
Man.
He also hit it on the steps. James Archangel literally was taking abuse from this guy. And then it just came to a point where James Archangel had no choice. And to finish the match and finally put Luke O'Lucky down for good, had to hit the damnation bomb onto a ladder that was in the upright position where the support beam was right there.
He had no choice, man. Luke would not stay down.
Man, guy like that, willing to put his body through that much and still come out laughing, that man's going to go far in this business.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, he will.
He's already asked, since, he's not doing much right now, he's going to the Michael X gym, which is honestly just his garage. It's just his garage.
Michael X must have a big damn garage.
It's pretty small.
Hey, this is where John Gray went, by the way. Is where John Gray went because he's never really hung out with the guy.
This is where you train.
And this is when Michael X was going through his rehab phase after Mark Young brutalized him the first time.
In Test Match 13?
Yes.
Because the man, when we were later able to talk to the doctor about the situation, I'm really upset that we didn't have a guy at the time to record what was going on. We found out by the doctor that he had a 3-inch shard of glass shoved into his leg.
Yeah.
Into the part of his knee, one of the joints.
Oh, God.
And to this day, I still don't like Mark. Mark has tried to be a friend. Tried to. I still hate his guts. I think that's the cheapest way to win a match. And it put Michael X out for a while. It put him out for a couple test matches, and it was kind of upsetting. But
he was out for 4 months prior.
And he was able to recover and do everything that he has to do. And John thought he was trying to help him, but it was the other way around, because John realized, wow, I'm not this great fighter. And training with Michael X, he was able to, build up the character and build up everything that he wanted to do. He was able to, train in actual boxing.
Yeah, it was insane.
It's like if you graduate from the Michael X gym, you're one of the best fighters in the company at that point.
Can you imagine training with Michael X? All right, kid, hit the uppercut, boom.
You're gonna eat like me, and you're gonna crap thunder. I feel like that's something he would say.
He's weird. I've never seen the guy without the mask.
Never?
There's only one person who's ever seen him without the mask, and that's his fiance.
Yeah.
She's the only one that's ever seen him without the mask on.
So I guess
we can't find any photos of him, nothing without his mask on, and it's really freaky.
Yeah, it really is. But
he physically changed his last name to X.
Besides the point, obviously, Luca Lucky, man, he's gonna go far.
He is going to go very far.
Just like the theme for Kyle, he's going to go far, kid.
I easily see him as a heavyweight title contender down the road.
Oh, definitely. He's incredible.
This is a public service announcement by Radio Massasoit. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Texting on your phone while you're driving. You don't think there's anything bad that could come about it? Huh, it's just a simple text, right, that you're sending out to a friend? Well, what happens if you hear this? That's you in a car crash. And pretty soon, you're going to be leaving behind your family, friends, and loved ones. Next time when you're on your way to school, wait until you're off the road to text someone. This public service announcement about texting and driving was brought to you by Radio Massasoit, where success starts here.
Now we get on to the new episode.
Oh, boy.
Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
This is after a while. But we did it.
Episode 3. God, this was a barn burner.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it was.
incredible. Let's start with the first match, what I like to call the giant fight. This is what happens when you have a Colossus fighting another Colossus, a Titan versus another Titan, a Greek god fighting a Greek god. It's Poseidon and it's Hades and Zeus fighting. And it just doesn't end.
Yep.
And this match is what I like to call what big guys can really do.
Yep.
This is when you give two big athletes that have athletic potential and can move and have a good stamina build and everything and fight.
Yep.
God, Ori Dre
And
and Sean Maverick tore it up.
Yes, they did.
Ori forgot he was fighting Sean. That's not even a joke. He absolutely forgot he was fighting Sean. Now, Sean is an awesome guy. He's a very well-determined individual when he has his mind set to something. That promo that he cut, I swear he barely said anything. What he said was exactly what he wanted to say. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to hurt somebody. And I'm going to hurt them, and I'm going to like it.
Well, hello, U.S. Marine.
Yeah, he loves what he does, and I'm glad that he's in this company because I would not want him anywhere else.
He's become hugely popular.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
When we got the chance to get the fan reaction of that whole thing,
That match alone was a star-making performance for Sean Maverick.
Sean has always been this big guy. Him and Brandon have one of the most popular matches on DailyMotion.com.
Yes.
One of the most popular matches. Because it's so friggin' brutal all the way through. He was able to take a what would you say, 220 plus pound guy.
Yep, with ease.
From the Titantron to his chest, was able to get up and throw him around some more.
Absolutely.
Wow. Man, guy like that, combined with the performance he put on in this match with Ori Dre, the Bad Omen, I would be shocked if this man never wins a world title.
I will be shocked as well. This guy is fantastic.
This is a guy.
Love him.
This is a guy that, if you know anything about running a wrestling company,
You got him.
you have got to put the title on this man at some point in his career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
I think the end result is that Sean showed exactly his colors. He showed that he bleeds red, white, and blue, and
No
he shows that
question.
he doesn't give a shit.
No, he does not. He will take as much punishment as he needs to. And the same really can be said, I mean, maybe not the red, white, and blue part, but as far as taking a punishment,
The same can absolutely be said for the Bad Omen.
yeah.
And it was incredible.
Holy crap,
There was
man.
so much transition of moves, but the one thing that everybody forgets about is Sean's 12 gauge.
Oh,
That custom emerald fusion that he does, because he gets a little bit more height, and the drop isn't more to the shoulders. He just drops you dead center of the head.
we gotta talk about some of the
Oh yeah,
things that have happened in this match. Obviously, when Ori he grabs a title belt from the fan and just wails. I mean, I've never seen so many forceful title belts. On top of that, the torture rack water slide that he did, and he makes the crotch go flying when he slams Sean Maverick onto it. The force of that slam provided something like that, and I said it on commentary. I didn't even know what the match was going to be like in the next few minutes at that point. And then it just got even more brutal. When they and it got even worse when they got the steps and the ladder involved. Oh boy. Just looking back on it, it's just kind of giving me like...
I think...
Ooh. Because I'm actually shivering because of how bad, how incredible, it was, but also how
insane.
Disturbing
how much of
a
beating these two men dished into each other.
I mean, we saw a muscle buster on the steps. We saw a German suplex on the steps, both by Sean Maverick.
Didn't we see a 12 gauge on a ladder?
Yes, we saw the Bad Omen Slam on the corner of the steps, and oh man, that looked bad.
We saw Sean lift this poor man and drop him head first right into the ladder.
To which the ladder goes. I've never seen anything like that. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again.
The ladder goes flying clear out of the ring.
You're talking about the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
You're talking about the wheelbarrow. I'm talking about when he lifts him straight up into the air and drops him head first between the support beam and the top of the ladder.
Right. But I want to talk about that wheelbarrow face.
That was incredible. That move, I've never seen that ladder go that high.
Ladder goes flying clear out of the ring. I had some people do some calculations on it. That was 12 feet in the air at its highest point.
So that means he had to hit him with almost 400 pounds of force drop.
And these are two strong guys.
Sean is way stronger, though.
No question. I mean, that goes without saying. But then let's talk about how Ori then fought back. He then fights back. He gets up after that hellacious move and then does a double choke suplex. And Sean goes back first and smacks off the ladder. And by this point, we were still, in awe of what we saw with the ladder flying in the air because of Ori's face hitting it. But the guy would then fight back. He would then fight back, and he just suplexed him. Suplexed him through this ladder so many times, targeting that infamous back supporter, Sean Maverick, by the way. He just kept attacking it, and he almost got him.
Now,
many times.
You know what nobody talks about, though?
We got to talk about one more thing, too.
Absolutely.
And this is towards the beginning of the match, too.
Just that stare down.
That stare down and into the punch. Let's talk about also how Ori, very clever. You wouldn't know it by looking at the guy. But then he goes and takes a crutch. And Sean's got a whole thing of steel steps in his hands. And then Ori takes a crutch, throws it with pinpoint accuracy on Sean Maverick's head. Sean's dazed, doesn't know what to do, and then he stun guns him into a back suplex on the steps that Sean Maverick dropped. It was brilliant. It was freaking brilliant.
It was fast.
It was fast thinking by Ori Dre.
Clearly, this is a man who is quick on his feet.
Absolutely.
And very quick-witted, both of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You saw some quick thinking by both guys in this match.
It's just,
you saw Ori Dre.
Ori doesn't have
he goes and tries
Sun Tzu's book in his locker room constantly.
But
if you go to Sean's locker, that book has highlighted pages.
Yep.
Has a highlighted friggin' list on it of what each individual thing means. He has a book next to that book that he keeps all of his notes in. He's a master of the concept of war. And he is fantastic to watch in the ring. And that little scar above his eye is because of Brandon. That scar going straight down on his eye, that's because of Brandon.
Absolutely.
Do we want to know how that happened?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you watched the match, man. It's...
Yeah.
Oh.
It happened way after.
He gets a thunderstruck onto a steel chair and the support beam took out his eye socket, and we didn't notice that at the time.
Well, it did take out his eye, but what it did was it gave him a pretty bad friggin' gash in the head.
Yeah, and so
it busted him
like
open pretty bad.
So he had to get stitches for it, and he turned out because he was blind from that. And he was a war soldier at that time. He was currently anywhere specific, but he was on leave, and he couldn't return back, so he was back into, WYW.
But he was
now WYW full time. Originally, it was part time, and oh boy,
he's a scary friggin' man.
We'll talk about, obviously, one of the other spots that I want to talk about before we move on is when Ori Dre tries to go for a clothesline, and Sean Maverick just tosses this man. And just about almost as high as how he had the ladder fly earlier in the match.
Just tossed him like he was nothing.
Yeah.
Like a rag doll.
Yeah. It was insane. I've never seen a capture suplex with that high of elevation in my life. And then, obviously, we talk about the Bad Omen Slam on the butt of the baseball bat. Again, another quick thing by Ori, where he has him in a schoolboy, but then releases the schoolboy and hits the jackknife right after. Another brilliant move by Ori. These guys may be two of the best big men in this entire industry. Just from this match. It was a star-making performance for both guys. The ending sequence obviously comes when Sean Maverick takes a steel chair, concertos Ori Dre into the apron. Then he hits that 12 gauge that Mike talked about, that Nathan talked about earlier. And then he hits the Anaconda Vice.
And it was just brutal.
To finish it off.
It was brutal, man. And you got to remember, too, is that's their first meetup.
Not to mention also the concerto with the ladder onto the chair, too.
We need to remember
not forget about that.
You need to remember, though, Ori and him, that's their first time meeting. I'm scared of what the future holds with these two. Because they obviously have some type of beef.
What beef? I don't know. I guess it
whatever's left.
You're trying to be the best big man. Yeah. Whatever flesh is of Ori Dre's face is on that ladder. Yeah, probably. But
he busted him bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sean got busted up pretty bad in that match, too.
Sean's used to that, though.
Well, yeah, that's true, but still.
When Sean gets busted open, he gets scary, and then he gets even angrier.
He goes...
It's actually a bad thing when you bust him open. I don't think Ori remembered that, because he kept trying to bust the guy open.
Sean's always hyped himself up for a match. His adrenaline's, at a good spot where it should be.
Yeah.
And then you bust him open, he goes into what I like to call a blood rage, and he gets really pissed off, and he gets really angry.
Yep.
And for some reason, this man can take a friggin' beating and go, I'm going to kick out now. I'm getting really tired of your bullshit. I'm going to kick out now. He's kicked out how many times?
And this is because he's busted open and he's just he's
pissed.
He sees red when you bust him open.
That is an ECW mark if ever I heard one.
Yeah, I know.
That guy had to grow up on ECW.
I don't know if he grew up on ECW. It may have been just because of war. It may have been because of something. Whatever it was.
He's just never going to die, dude.
It's just, he keeps going and going. Once you bust him open, he's like the Energizer Bunny.
You beat me to it. Damn you, Nate.
I also said it too. Why is it just Nathan? Come on.
He was the first one I heard say it. Sorry, Johnny.
It's just, you beat him and he just keeps going. Going.
It is true. It's very true.
The good example is like a Komodo dragon. He takes the first bite out of you, and he'll stalk you for hours. He'll wait for the perfect time when you're at your weakest moment, and he'll just get you off your guard, and he'll bite you down.
Yeah.
He will continuously beat you down all day long. He is a scary man to go up against, and I'm glad he's in WYW and I don't have to deal with him on some crazy street alley somewhere.
Yeah.
Because he'd probably kill me, the guy next to me, and the bus that I got off of.
Probably would.
Now, that was a great match, but the second match.
Oh, boy.
The second match.
From the seaside, it was Zach Kurosaki versus Austin Watansky.
This is a Japanese-only match. This is incredible. These are two American citizens that have battled so long in Japan, they had to relearn English.
Yes.
They had to relearn the basic language of English all over again. And it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic setup of matches, and I was very shocked by it. I was expecting so much more, and I got exactly what I could have paid for. It was great.
I mean, do we need to talk about how many that rising sun from the top of the ladder by Zach?
Absolutely.
Is a staple of that match, and how beautiful that looked. That camera angle.
When you look at Zach's body frame, he's got the high flyer body frame, but he doesn't wrestle like one.
He does not.
He wrestles
like he's in a fight.
It's like Zach and Austin somehow swapped body frames. It's really freaky when you look at it.
It kind of does.
It's really freaky, but honestly, at the end of the day, Austin's incredible. Zach is also equally incredible, but Zach outmoved him. And these guys have fought in so many matches, have battled each other in so many displays in Japan.
The Dragon Punch is shit. Like, that uppercut is insane. We need to also talk about the 718 into the coup de grace.
Oh, yes.
718, body splash, coup de grace. An incredible sequence of moves that he did in that match.
Oh, absolutely.
We got to talk about, obviously, that Tatsumaki.
The Tatsumaki Senpikaku.
Freaking insane.
Whirlwind Hurricane Kick. That's not me saying it. That's him saying it. He's a huge Street Fighter fan.
No kidding.
And, of course, he names one of his moves off of Street Fighter, which is the famous move by all the Shoto characters in Street Fighter. Like Ryu, Ken, and everybody else that's the same fighting style that all use the Hurricane Kick.
Freaking weeaboo.
Wow, that was not me saying that. I'm biased here. I'm biased here.
And then he'll totally kick your head off. But
yeah, no kidding.
But the end result is the altitude and height that he had. He hit that kick dead, pinpoint accurate to the head.
Yep.
It was insane. And when that hits, I wasn't expecting it. You weren't expecting it. In the front row was definitely not expecting. When that move friggin' hit, it was incredible.
We got to talk about some of the red endings on kendo sticks too. The red ending.
Of course, the kendo stick was one of the first weapons pulled out too.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's. Can we talk about your comment? How about you stop being ridiculous with your one-liners?
Okay.
Really get us bad PR.
Give me a good example of one.
Let me see. It's like when Zach Mayer grabs a guitar from a fan, and then he smashes Zach Kurosaki. They're both red. You can't blame me there. Anyway, one has a weird belly button there. Now I know the distinction. He grabs a freaking guitar.
Yes.
Smashes Austin over the head with it, and then you go and say, it's like a kamikaze pilot hitting a boat.
Yes.
Why?
Because
it is racist.
Because the amount of blood that was shot into the friggin' air from that guitar hit, dude.
Didn't you get some on you?
No, that
was from the Shaw Maverick. I forgot about that spot.
I had to physically change my clothes in the locker room.
Yep.
Before the next match.
You literally had to rush over there.
I had to physically go in and I had to get a swab done because I didn't know what was on me. That's scary shit, dude. I don't know what was on me, so I had to get checked, and I'm all good.
Anyway, back to Austin Zach.
Yeah. Obviously, the
completely over that one.
The rising sun
that's an
through the table.
That was incredible.
Not even just that. That's not the only thing that was hit. We go and there's Austin's climbing up and knocks Zach off the ladder. Zach lands on his feet, and then Austin hits the coup de grace from the top.
Oh my god!
What? Like, that was nuts. Then
that double knee stomp is great.
And then we got to talk about the knee strike that Zach hits after tossing Austin off the ladder, and then he runs up the ladder that's hanging off the ropes after he knocks it down, and bam!
He just knees him right in the head.
Right in the knee. Or right in the head with the knee. And then that's when he does the guitar shot where you say that really ridiculous comment. And then
listen, we're doing live commentary, okay? I can't give every great line that I can, all right, in like 1 second. Shut up. Mr. Misnaming individual people, like you always do.
Look, I'm sorry. Okay, some are blue, some are red, some are green.
Some
they
have
all look the
individual
same.
haircuts and look completely different. From the
I
other person.
know. Shush. Anyway, that's beside the point. It was still an amazing match.
It was.
Yes.
I'm never gonna put the points down on that one. That was a great display of two Japanese athletes
Agreed.
that are white.
But speaking of Japanese athletes, that is a perfect segue into the third match.
Yes.
Holy balls.
So,
The
do you want me to go into this?
Go ahead.
Want me to go into this?
Well, let me lead into it
Go
first.
right ahead.
After God knows how many years out of the American independent circuit, the legend of New Japan, the Blue Devil himself, Taka Michinoku, finally making his Weymouth Youth Wrestling debut against Chris Foster, late of the Ascension. Oh my lord. What?
Put a lot on the line as well.
Oh yes.
So, Taka
Nathan, if you would.
was a pain in the ass to get. Taka Michinoku is the biggest pain in the ass to get in the world because there's a language barrier, which was not fun to get through. But Jim, God, he is a sport and a half.
Yeah.
He tried his best and he was able to do it. And I'm so glad he was able to get it. And Taka is taking English lessons in America just to have a little.
No kidding.
Just so we can understand what we're saying, so that way it's not.
I mean, he's gotten pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. And I would say the end result is that was a fantastic match.
It was a fabulous match.
According to the review that we have so far, that's an incredible match.
It is.
It's one of the best of the night, according to some. But I disagree, in my personal opinion, as a commentator. But I will say this. Taka Michinoku is one of the greatest athletes we have seen so far in the company.
Agreed.
He has proved himself more than anybody else.
And done it time and time again.
And he has some of the best spots so far in the night. He was able to just pop out after that ISK to the head and hits the Michinoku driver for the win. It was incredible.
I mean, not to mention, some of the freaking ISKs he took too. The one where he was elevated up in the air and then he just clobbers him with that kick, knocking. I thought he knocked Doc out, and then he still kicked out because Foster was just like freaking out that he hit the kick with pinpoint accuracy.
Well, if you take a look at the hit itself, you watch his leg and it slides up the chest into the chin, so it's not a full powered ISK, because he doesn't hit dead in the forehead like he always hits. So we only hit him in the chin. So not a lot of effort was put into that kick in motion because Taka was already leaning back. So Taka was able to get out of the move and hits the Michinoku driver.
True.
So he was able to hit the full force of his move, but Chris wasn't able to hit his.
And somehow Chris still able to kick out and then hits a back suplex, and it was brutal. He hit that with pinpoint accuracy every time onto the ladder.
He saw a weapon and he said, "Screw this, I'm going to do it."
We got to talk about how Taka hits his patented spaceman moonsault through the table.
Yep.
To Chris Foster. We got to talk about how there was a friggin' elbow drop.
Yep.
Springboard elbow drop right through our table.
Yep.
Right where we were sitting, and holy crap, that was insane.
It was great.
By Chris Foster.
I almost got kicked in the head. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then we got to talk about...
Can people just stop using our friggin' table?
Nope.
It'd be great. Can you just stop?
I've already asked.
I'm tired of these things breaking.
You know what?
I'm putting a fence up.
Do you understand?
I'm putting up a fence because I feel offensed. Okay, like they just offended me. They just offended me by keep breaking my damn table and making me drop on my.
You're really getting defensive on us. What is the deal?
Shut up. Anyway.
Such a bad pun.
I got a million of them, buddies.
You're going to be with us on episode 1 of round 2, aren't you? Oh, great. Well, there's a spoiler for you guys. Great.
Even though it looks like it's the future.
What?
All kids are really screwed. It's Casey, where I want to back to grab my gin and tonic time.
Anyway, that being besides the point, we got to talk about some of the other spots that happened in the match.
Yes.
That superplex into the ladder, into the ISK, and I thought he was done, but as you said, pops right back up, hits the Michinoku driver.
That's the end of that match, dude. That is the end of that match.
Absolutely, because he just dropped him right on the back of his head. Taka won. He does not have to retire, and he moves up in round 2 to Gold Rush tournament.
And then,
yeah.
Who wants to talk about this?
I'll do it.
Because I was there.
I'll do it.
Okay.
So, Taka is celebrating the win.
Yep.
The entire crowd is just coming unglued.
Yay.
And then here comes, was it Chris?
No, it was Matt.
Matt Harrington.
Chris was the one he fought. Matt Harrington.
Here comes Matt Harrington into the ring. He starts taunting Taka Michinoku. Of course, here comes Taka. He's not gonna stand down to anybody. And then from behind, here comes Kuzan Robinson.
Every single member of that group.
Jack Robinson
friggin'
comes in.
Beats him down. They all beat him down. For no reason.
For no reason whatsoever. They put 2 ISKs, 2 sonic screwdrivers, one into an exposed turnbuckle, and then into the second ISK from Chris Foster,
and then into the Brexit breaker. The
Brexit breaker, a modified suplex stunner from Kuzan Robinson, which
then led him to be stretched out of the arena.
He would.
Speaking of which, obviously the medical update on that. We still haven't really heard word.
I'll be shocked if Taka shows up.
But he is
pleasantly so.
All we know is that Taka Michinoku.
I don't want him to after that beatdown. I want him to rest.
Well, I mean, he's not going to. Despite everything being told, he will be cleared to go.
Even though he really shouldn't be with the way that he looks.
Oh, dude, he got messed up.
It's absurd.
I
just think it's a total lack of respect.
A total lack of respect on the part of. They're now calling themselves the London Devastation, apparently.
Yeah, they used to be the Ascension. For those who don't know some of the history, Matt Harrington and Chris Foster. Back when Matt Harrington was Matt Man, they used to go by the tag team name the Ascension. And they decided to, what we thought was to split their ways.
It was a
ruse the whole time. And we forget Matt Harrington's still in the tournament. So wow, I don't even know what to say there. But yeah, it's a weird thing so far.
It's very strange.
It's a very strange thing. And
speaking of strange, another perfect segue. Thank you, Johnny Boy.
We will hold on before we get to that. Nathan, what do you have to say about?
What I have to say about this group is this. What you did is a wrestling sin. You attacked a legend during his comeback.
Yep.
And
after he just won a match.
You now have the entire friggin' locker room coming after you.
Yep.
Not the heels, because they don't give a damn. Mark and his Maggie Daddy don't give a damn.
You have the entire babyface roster after you.
You have Michael X. You have Sean Maverick. You have some of the toughest sons of bitches coming for you. And it's going to be a really bad day when you realize you're 3 guys and you're going up against an army.
Yep.
And when that happens, I'm going to laugh on commentary. I'm going to laugh so friggin' hard.
London Devastation goes up to Michael X. We are our own army. We have a Maverick.
Yeah.
And they probably do. I wouldn't doubt it.
They can have all the army that they want. They can bring all of jolly good England with them. With Big Ben.
It's jolly old England.
Who gives a goddamn shit?
Old, new, potato. It's the same freaking thing.
Oh, I forgot that Look How Lucky was.
Sorry,
for a second.
I should know. In all respect, okay, I really do love the UK fan base. I absolutely do.
I do.
Don't
They're
get
great.
me wrong.
They're great.
Don't get me wrong.
You have three really bad people to represent your country.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation for the UK fan base.
But to end that little segment, we're going to the last match. We're going with the Psychos from the Psycho Asylum itself.
Oh boy.
Two of the craziest sons of bitches in the whole company.
Juggalo Bones and Nick Switchblade.
Yep. J-Bones and Nick Switchblade.
Nick Switchblade, who burnt his own damn house down, and J-Bones, who drank a lot of Faygo.
and almost had his head caved in. And
he's used to that. That's not new.
Then what makes you think he wouldn't be used to drinking a whole shit ton of Faygo?
Because if you've seen what else he drinks...
He's a friggin' juggalo.
When you see what else he drinks, it's a lot heavier than just the Faygo.
What he's saying is,
He drinks a lot.
he's an alcoholic.
Just a little bit. But hey, he doesn't drink on the
The
job.
thing is,
He doesn't
that's
drink on the
kind of
job.
hypocritical, Nathan.
No, I'm being super serious.
Yes, but you can't talk because you drink a lot too.
Hey, listen.
At least J-Bones doesn't drink on the job.
Hey, that was one time. And probably gonna be later if I have to deal with the Maggie Daddies in one episode. I'm gonna get so drunk I'm gonna black out and wake up in the morning
You
and not even see
better
the
not.
goddamn sun.
You better not.
I swear to God, they better not be on the next thing.
So you're telling me you took a shower when you saw little Andre?
No, because that was one of them. If I have to deal with two of them in one episode, I will drink so heavily and hard, my face will turn red.
You know you're gonna have to, right? But that's beside the point.
Oh, son of a bitch.
He might already be drunk.
Great.
No. Listen, it's only when I have to deal with the Maggie Daddy men. A single shot comes out every time they cheat, which is almost every friggin' match.
They don't cheat, technically.
Don't even
yet. They haven't.
Not yet, but if it was a regular match, if it was a regular damn match, you know.
He's got a point.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean.
But look, anyway, that's beside the point.
These four are the cheapest sons of bitches ever.
That's beside the point. I get it. Anyway, J-Bones and Switchblade. Oh boy. So
Pain.
you want to talk about? Some people think like, oh,
pain.
Yeah, no. Some people.
That's the highlight reel. Pain. You'll never guess what the last one is. Pain.
Editing guy. Just every time that somebody says pain, like I just did, pain. See, I said it again. Just splice in like a moment from the match, because that's pretty much exactly. Nathan's right on the money with that. Now, see, people don't necessarily. Like some people are maybe not be hardcore fans. Like hardcore wrestling fans.
They don't need to be because
or
what's happened.
Some people like the technical aspect of it. Some people like the high flying. Some people like to just see big men fight. Whatever.
This is for those of you who like to let the inmates run the asylum.
This is what happens when you let that creepy internal voice that says, "Go fight the coworker that's been making a lot of noise next to you. That won't shut up because he has a fucking annoying mustache." I'm kidding.
We just had our Andre and what's his name, Bob Uecker moment.
Oh yeah.
But to be honest about this, yeah, that's a little internal voice in your head creeping out, telling you to do really bad things. Oh, and it became a match. It became a match.
Not just that.
Two people with alternate lifestyles that said, "I like pain.
Let's talk about this.
Give me more."
Let's talk about this. People, if you don't like this match because it was very violent, squeamish may look away because it was exactly that. You had about 50 seconds of tactical wrestling, and then they both just went and it's like,
Screw this.
guy. No, J-Bones literally like looked at him. He's like, "This motherfucker hit me with a chair. I don't like him." And then Switchblade's like, "This little boy is making a mockery out of me. I don't really like that." And then they just decided to go weapons, and yeah, the rest was pretty much history about that point. What was that word again? Pain.
And a whole lot of it.
There was a lot of broken weapons.
But Oh, well, are we going to talk about spots?
We don't need to. Just watch the match. I'm not going into that.
Yeah.
That match is just spots.
I'll talk about the 3 main spots that everyone needs to see.
Pain.
And more pain.
And pain.
Well, let's talk about the main spot.
The main pain.
The main
Oh,
pain.
gosh.
Let's talk about what happened here.
Yep.
Switchblade hits the GCS.
Yep.
And J-Bones is done by this point. He's gonna win. There's no doubt about it that he's gonna win after all the punishment these two have dished out on each other.
So Nick Switchblade goes for the cover.
And then the lights go out.
Turnabout is fair play, Nick Switchblade.
Oh boy, it was. You just hear this laugh. You hear this.
And louder. And louder till we hear a chair shot ring out from the distance. And we see Nick Switchblade unconscious on the ground, and we go, Ian, thank you. Because I don't want that psychopath moving forward in this tournament.
Well, you trade one psychopath for another.
I can deal with an alcoholic, Fago-addicted juggalo. I cannot deal with the man who cuts himself and laughs about it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I say no. No.
Yeah.
There's a difference between I'm crazy because I was in backyard wrestling matches and got hurt a lot and it was fun. There's a difference between that and I really, really, really like pain. That's where that cut line.
Yeah.
And it's not great. Especially when he calls you on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning going, hey, what you doing? Watching TV. I can see that. What? Bye. Yeah, I don't trust that guy. I really don't trust him.
Wait, that actually happened to you?
That's happened to me twice so far.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, I think there's something mentally wrong with him.
Oh, you think?
You don't say.
You don't frickin' say.
So, John, you're telling me you don't hear that rustling outside of your window at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes?
I thought that was just you being a bumbling idiot.
We live like 2 miles apart from each other. I'm not driving to your house to sit in the freaking bushes.
Yeah, and you didn't do that on New Year's Eve?
Okay, that was different. That was when I was we were at the same house, first off. I was plastered and I hid in your house.
And you fell into a bush.
Yes, and it was funny. There's a difference. That was New Year's Eve. I only get drunk on days.
Anyway, that's beside the point.
What is the
point? If you guys have not seen... Oh my god. Nathan, come on now.
Yeah, I'm the main man.
Yeah, and you're also a pain in my ass.
Good,
anyway.
I'll put that as my second title. Pain in John's ass. The main man who's a pain in John's ass.
Casey, help me out here, please.
Sorry, bro, I got nothing.
What do you mean you got nothing? You're the other wrestling encyclopedia. Do something about him.
I'm a wrestling encyclopedia, not a social skills encyclopedia.
I'm a doctor, Jim, not a goddamn medical surgeon.
Alright. Anyway.
The main man, Nathan Ferrari.
Oh my god,
Who's a pain in John's ass.
Let me talk.
Because John has a stupid mustache.
It's a goat. First off, it's a goatee.
And a square box of a head.
First off, it's a goatee.
And square head.
I can't
Fellas, please.
Can you fit your head in one of those little preschool toys? Yeah, it's got the square, it's got the circle, and the triangle. You're just going, it's a hat.
Maybe if we were on Lilliput, but
find one big enough.
If you haven't seen the Gold Rush tournament,
watch it, because it's great.
From match 1 all the way up to match 12, it is a must-see.
If you don't watch it, Nick Switchblade will also hide outside your window at 2 o'clock in the morning, shaking the bushes and laughing. Hopefully he's just shaking the bushes.
Sure.
Anyway.
Thanks a lot, bro. I'm going to have nightmares for 2 weeks.
Well, he is your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Hey.
You'll see him inside the Psycho Asylum. Every time he goes to the asylum.
Yeah, because he ain't always there.
No, he's not. No. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's get on to the matches that are left.
Yes.
We got 4 matches left. Mark Young versus Chris Dodd.
Yep.
Yep. Yep, Nathan, yep.
One shot.
No, don't, no.
Hey, that's light compared to what I'm going to be if there's two of them and one of them.
Well, I mean, then you have Dave Foley and Jason G. Oh, boy.
That's going to be good.
That's going to be really painful to watch.
Oh, man.
Then,
Really painful to watch.
and then we have Kyle Weaver versus Owen Finch.
Oh, boy. That'll be fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. That's going to be a great high.
And this is taking place in Orlando.
This is taking place in Orlando.
Kyle Weaver is going to have the crowd on his side, and that can be...
And Owen's going to have a Finch in a bush. What? They say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. We got a bird in the ring, so there's going to be two in the bush somewhere.
What's the bush going to be, a ladder?
Yes, probably. High flyers using ladders? You don't think.
Anyway, and then the final match. Oh, God, here comes the shot. Corey Dangerous versus John Gray.
Oh, fuck this.
John, did he just leave? He just left.
Well, let me go talk to him.
No. Well, I guess I'm by myself now. Ladies and gentlemen,
All right, I'm back.
Okay, we finally got that settled.
Okay.
I'm back.
What do you mean you're back? Are you? Please tell me you're all right.
I'm fine.
Yes.
I really don't want to think about this friggin' episode, because I will lose my shit. If both of these men move up in the tournament, one of them I can deal with. Both of them, I'm gonna get so hammered, people are gonna call me Luca Lucky. I'm not even kidding. People are gonna straight up call me Luca Lucky.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Look. Besides that, who do you guys think is going to win?
I sure as hell hope Mark Young and Corey Dangerous are not moving on.
I hope the same thing too.
Well, let's go one by one.
Watch if I'm super wrong, like I was last year.
We're gonna predict, in a bit of a different way. We're gonna predict, but you're gonna say we're gonna go with. Are they going to win by pinfall or are they going to win by submission? So first match up, who do you think is going to win and why?
Oh, Chris Dodd by submission.
Chris Dodd by submission? What about you?
Chris Dodd by hopefully tap out. That'd be interesting.
For me, and
You're gonna be the odd man.
trust me,
You're gonna be the odd man.
I don't like him any more than you.
Being the odd man out, I don't.
But yeah, no, I gotta go with him. I gotta go with Mark.
You suck.
And I gotta go with by submission.
Oh, you suck.
I know.
We're not making bets. Screw this.
Listen.
I'll lose on that one. I know I will. I friggin' know I'm gonna lose this bet. Watch.
Well, you never know. I could be the one.
Every time I put down these Maggie Daddy bastards, they always friggin' win.
Well, we'll see.
It's ridiculous.
We'll see. Maybe that won't be the case.
It's gonna happen.
Maybe that won't be the case. We'll see.
Hey, John. First of all, Murphy's a friggin' dick. So don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, he is.
Now, are we talking about Murphy the scientist or Eddie Murphy?
No. You familiar with Murphy's Law?
Yes.
Yeah, Murphy's a dick.
Oh, I thought he was.
So is Karma. And she's fat.
Hopefully she will be in the Maggie Daddy Man's case.
Oh, gosh. Well, there goes getting Karma to ever join our organization.
Good.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I mean, she is pretty brutal. I mean, it's not like... Yeah, I mean, she's...
That's the one way she is pretty.
Okay. Anyway.
Fetishes aside.
No.
No. Go away.
No. Anyway.
You think that should be on the Empire State Building? Go away.
All right, stop.
Okay.
We're not talking about XTNA. We're not talking about XTNA people,
AKA DOA.
yes. We're talking about WYW.
AKA Dead on Arrival.
Yes, it's the same thing.
No, I guess they were right for once. Because watching it is like being Dead on Arrival.
Anyway.
I've commentated for some crappy companies.
Who do you think is going to win against with Jason G and Dave Foley?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go Dave because he's got the family influence on that one, and he's got the heart, man. Jason's got a coconut head. That's about it.
And honestly, the coconut head is kind of why I have to go with Jason G.
Okay. Do you really? All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think that? First off, Nathan, do you think that Dave Foley is going to win by pinfall or submission?
I'm going to say pinfall. I feel like he's going to get a nice clean knockout.
I'm also going to say pinfall for the exact same reason. But as much as
G.
Yeah, as much as I respect Dave Foley and what he brings to the table, I really got to go with Jason G. Admittedly, partially because I'm a sucker for redemption stories, but it's got to be Jason G.
Fair enough. For me, I am also going to go with Jason G because he's just got that hollow head, man.
He doesn't give a shit.
No, he does not. And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how this goes.
Absolutely.
With Jason and Dave Foley, it's gonna be a clash of styles, and it's going to be two hardcore nutbags in a match together, and it's kind of a scary prospect in a way, but it's also very exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
With that being said, we'll move on.
I got another phone call, guys.
Another phone call, dude. If it's Jim, tell him to piss off.
I can't, dude. He's the boss.
Fair enough.
You want me to not get a paycheck, you dick?
Anyway, that being said, let's go. I guess you know.
What do you mean Mark is moving up in the tournament?
What?
You really think that? Oh, get out of here.
Hey, whoa,
hey, Mike X, easy.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, my boy Jonzo just got mugged by Michael X. What the hell?
Dude, what just happened? Nathan, Michael, can you calm him down?
What did you just do?
Dude, Michael X just came into the car and almost mugged Johnny.
What the hell?
What did you say to him?
We didn't say a word. What the hell?
Apparently he overheard that I picked Mark.
I think you might have made the wrong choice.
I'm just predicting. I don't want him to
I
win.
think he thinks you're being a predick right now for making that choice, but, I'll talk to him about it later.
Please do. We would prefer to have our commentary team intact for January 10th. Thank you very much.
Yeah, right? Almost died. I'm scared.
Almost died by a masked man.
No, I'm serious. Like, why? I don't want him angry at me.
Jeebus.
He's scary. He put James Archangel through a freaking ladder. I don't want that to be me.
There's three guys in this business you don't want angry at you. Sean Maverick, Michael X, and friggin'
Jim Cornette.
Yes, thank you.
Specifically Jim, because he will not give you a paycheck.
Anyway.
I'll talk to Jim about it.
Yeah, please.
Please do.
I don't need him beating me up. Thank you.
You don't have to worry about him. I think it's the Jim you're going to be worried about. What do you mean? What do you mean you had a very bad day with Michael X making a prediction against him? That's not cool!
Oh,
fucking
thanks.
idiot.
Thanks. I'm not going to get anyone on my side on that.
Dude,
Anyway.
you might. I'll just talk to him. Fine.
So, that being said,
Awesome.
next match. Kyle Weaver versus Owen Finch. Who do you guys got and
I'm
why?
going Kyle. I'm going with the ultimate underdog, man. This guy, come on. Look at how many matches this guy already has under his belt.
Yes, but Owen has gone through the same trials and tribulations that
But Owen
Kyle
hasn't
has.
had to be in a a triple threat, should I say. A triple threat.
Table from Hell match where he
and has survived against the same two guys that already had a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
like, what the hell?
There's this thing, it's like a scale. Kyle's kind of, he's up there.
Well, I'm going to go with Owen. And the reason I'm going with Owen is because of one thing and one thing only.
And that is?
He has got the Birdman Clash. And
That is a devastating maneuver.
Is
I
a
forgot that was
very
the name of it.
devastating maneuver. Obviously, people know it in other parts is the Styles Clash.
I don't disagree.
Or the Landing Clash, if you want to get technical with it. But Owen calls it the Birdman Clash. And it is a very devastating maneuver to be used. So, that being said, I think it's going to knock Kyle out. And I think he's going to get the pinfall victory.
I think Kyle's going to get the pinfall victory by using the Dynamite Destroyer.
Fair enough. They're both just as equal.
Oh, absolutely.
Them as a team would be fantastic.
It would be awesome. Be absolutely awesome. Now to throw my 2 cents in there, I honestly believe Kyle's going to get the pinfall victory, but not because of the Dynamite Destroyer. That man is one creative son of a bitch. And more often than not, in Extreme Rules matches, especially when that falls count anywhere, it's the most creative and stamina-based competitor that is going to get the victory.
That is actually very
We
true.
have seen Kyle in some pretty extreme situations. You already mentioned the triple threat table from Hell match.
We can talk also about the 6-man ladder match where he just kept jumping off everything with pinpoint accuracy.
Absolutely. This is one creative son of a buck. He really, I honestly think that is going to come into play. Yeah, I honestly think creativity is going to win this match for Kyle Weaver.
I think creativity could win it for Owen Finch.
Now, I'm going to say this for the next match. I don't have a problem with
Now, you say young buck. Or son of a buck. Does that mean he's a son of Max Buck or Jeremy Buck?
He's a combination.
Joe Buck.
He's just a Buck.
Who's Joe Buck?
He's Buck Wild.
And on that note, moving right along. John, are you okay?
Oh, God, I forgot about him. But he's so funny, too. Oh, that's fucking great.
Anyway.
Moving right along.
Oh, that's great.
Still, we got to talk about the last match.
Okay.
Oh, boy. For first.
Now, I'll say this right now, because everybody's going to say, well, you just hit all the Maggie Daddy men. No, I enjoy Little Andre, and I enjoy Corey. I hate that they have to team up with Mark.
Yeah. No, it's very true.
Because they would be so good by themselves, and they have to go with this one guy that's just a mockery to the sport.
Yep.
Who's gonna
make them?
I'm gonna make a bet right now. He's not gonna win a single match in this entire tournament by himself, or he's not gonna win one of his matches by himself in the tournament.
We'll see.
Because him. You know how he is. He cannot win by a fair shot. He has to find some cheap method of getting ahead in the game.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
See.
Yes, we will.
I mean, even Corey beat him, actually. I think about it now. It's back at the match between Mark and Corey, which kind of started that partnership up in a way. A test match 4.
And to be fair, it was a great match.
And Corey beat him.
But
I want to point that out. Corey actually beat Mark Young. So, I don't know. And if just on the off chance, and I'm not, this is a hypothetical before we actually predict. On the off chance that they actually do advance, what if it's between the two of them? Corey ain't going to lay down for him.
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely
He hasn't yet. But the end result
and I don't expect that he will.
The end result is this. Corey has a match ahead of him.
Oh, boy.
Corey has a match ahead of him.
And it's with John Gray.
He has to fight a guy who absolutely hates this group. More than me. I have not, listen, I may talk a lot of crap behind commentary, but I have not made any physical stride to hurt these guys.
I mean, Michael X might be the one that does more damage. I mean, that would want to do more damage. He probably hates him more than John Gray does, but John, man, has taken some extreme measures.
Muscle, and he has taken out the brain in one night. In one night, he was able to beat 2 guys
before
the
test match. Before test match 14 started, John Gray did not show up, and everyone thought that he just no-showed.
They thought he was a bitch.
And the thing is, John has done that before.
He's a sneaky little bitch.
From time and time again. This was back when he had problems.
Yes.
You know, with with stuff in his life. I won't mention in detail, but he's over that now. That's what we thought happened.
But
no, next thing we see. The next thing we see,
little Andre's on a cell, about to talking to Mark on his way to the limousine that they somehow probably stole.
I don't know if they stole it or not, but whatever. They have a limousine, and the next thing you know,
we see Big John Gray in a farging monster truck come out of goddamn nowhere and crush Mark inside of the limo. We thought Mark was dead. He gets out of the truck and starts beating the holy hell out of little Andre.
All the way to the ring.
All the way to the ring.
By this point, when they're making their way to the ring, Mark Young literally he climbs out of the limousine, the crushed limousine, out in a heap. And then John Gray and little Andre is supposed to have the first ever cell block match. And he's trying to trap little Andre's head as the cage is coming down.
He was going to kill him.
This guy was incensed on destroying these guys. And Corey wasn't there that night, but I'm sure if he was there, he would not be spared.
He was so damn lucky.
And need I remind the times that John Gray went right after Corey Dangerous in the 6-man ladder match.
You know what's ironic, too? You know what friggin' song John was playing in his car before, or in his monster truck before he crushed the car?
What?
You know the Cheers theme?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nuts.
Remind me not to screw with this man.
On through the day, showing what you got.
God, breaking the law.
No, it's not that. No, it's the Cheers theme.
I know, but
sometimes you gotta go.
All right,
everybody knows your name.
No, I know. You stop it. I can't look at that song the same anymore. Stop.
Everybody knows your name.
Oh, God. Anyway. Corey Dangerous, John Gray. Who do you guys got more?
I'm going against my senses, but I'm gonna say Corey.
In what method?
Probably submission. Probably submission.
I'm also gonna say Corey, but via pinfall.
I'm very shocked there.
Because
I'm gonna go with John Gray.
John's great, but Corey's just... Do I have to remind anybody of Test Match 17?
I want to say John Gray.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with John Gray.
I don't blame you.
He was this dude. And here's the two reasons why.
Besides the Cheers thing.
Shut up.
That's great.
John Gray hates the Maggie Daddy men, thus hating Corey. And that's not good for Corey.
No.
That being said... Oh, boy.
Yeah,
boy.
It's not going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch.
But it's not going
to be fun to be in that match.
And the second reason being the Winchester rifle.
That's a deadly-ass move.
That
spear comes out of
that is scary.
Nowhere.
He can lift people up with that.
He tosses people in the air like they're rag dolls and meets them straight to the ground.
And I remember Andre goes to the top of in the cell block match. He was about to win the match, and then John Gray just destroys him out of the air with the Winchester rifle. And it was the first time that move was ever unveiled, and wins the match.
It was insane. The way he hit that at the exact time that he needed to hit it was incredible. But the big issue that I see going into this is the DDDT. The dangerous DDT is a scary friggin' move. Because of the elevation and the amount of time you hang in the air before you're dropped into the dead center of your head.
It's very true. Both of these men have some very deadly finishers. Gunslinger being one of them for John. Winchester Rifle being another. And also, we can't forget about that Peacemaker DDT.
But you're forgetting about Corey's infamous low blow.
And his... Yeah, I trust me.
The dangerous
I agree
DDT. And
Corey
the dangerous uppercut.
Corey has put men out for months with both of those moves.
Yeah.
Now, we're not just talking about WYW scene. We're talking about all over the world.
Yes.
This guy, when he hits his version of the DDT, he's done it through a table. He sent it to a ladder. He has done it from the top of a ladder.
Yes.
I have
Which is banned in WYW because that would physically kill somebody.
I have seen
From
him.
the angle that he drops, it's like a missile. It's insane.
I have seen him hit that dangerous uppercut on the rest of the indie scene, and I have seen
The angle.
6 foot. I have seen 6'8", 350-pound giants crumble to this move.
Yep.
It is deadly.
It is a very deadly move. You're not wrong. I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but I think John's going to take it.
There's only one way to tell. It's to sit down and commentate that.
Absolutely.
It's got to be.
And admittedly, I do hope that John wins, but I got to go with Corey.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We will. Yes, we will.
That being said, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the WYW podcast, hosted by Casey Gallagher. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for joining me.
We will be coming back in momentarily after this commercial break. We will be going over when we return. Markiplier making his long-awaited debut. We will be talking about the female tournament that is going to be happening at Round 1, Episode 2. And last but certainly not least, we will be talking about a future match planned for our event Gold Rush and Gold Rush in general, which we will be talking about on this very podcast. Don't go anywhere.
If you guys are into the underground hip-hop scene, please check out my cousin MC SolarWind on YouTube.com, SoundCloud.com, and other social media platforms.
A reason to go on, cause it's lonely on my own. I chose to leave my home, cause I thought that I had grown. My paper stack high, so high, but not cash though. My mind works quicker than most, guess why I rap for? I write lyrics backwards, didn't catch it, hit the fast forward.
You can check out all of his hits from his mixtape Classic.
And it's all real. Underground past the pavement, we be wildin' on the corner freestyling.
To his second mixtape, I Am SolarWind.
Breathe out, face, breathe in, breathe out, goals, breathe in, breathe out, fire, breathe in, breathe out, focus.
Along with all the rest of his music on SoundCloud.com/MC-Solar-Wind.
Didn't get the best cards, play whatever's given us.
Make sure you give some props to my cousin and tell him that James sent you here.
Praise, but give credit when credit's due. Lately I'm feeling I should stop saying lately. My thoughts is timeless, won't be here if you page me.
Love you, Ty. Keep doing you, man.
Solar Wind.
And we are back. And
Welcome to Massachusetts where it's cold.
Yeah.
yes,
At this point, from here, we are going to be talking about the long-awaited question, will we have a female tournament? Well,
Yes.
the answer is
yes, it's happening.
We are. Don't worry,
boy.
you perverts. We're doing a female tournament.
Hey.
Hey, no, I'm just putting it out there because it only started when we had we were able to gain a male following instead of the multicultural following when we got the American following. It's kind of been a pain in the ass, but we're able to do it. We found a lot of divas, a lot of independent contractors that were able to sign up, and it's pretty cool. It's
Yes.
pretty great.
All right, so what do we got?
So,
These are all gonna be triple
members
threat?
that will be coming in, we're going to be talking about them one by one.
Yep.
The first match is going to be, they're all triple threat matches the first round. I just want to point that out there, everyone. It's going to be Colleen Horizon versus Breezy Bree versus Vamp Candy. Now, we're going to go down each individual person, and we're going to talk about them.
And this is where you boys can do your thing, because I know next to nothing about these ladies.
Colleen Horizon. being a rocker chick, really wanted to be a part of something big and phenomenal.
So why didn't she start dating AJ Styles?
Because that's small and hairy.
Wow. You're just taking shots at everybody tonight, aren't you?
Shots! Yeah, I am. Everybody! Because the shits I give, dude, are very low. What are they going to do? Come out to Massachusetts and beat me up?
Who knows? They might.
Go right ahead.
They might. Anyway. Colleen Horizon.
She's great.
She's awesome. Started her wrestling career not even a year ago. And she has very innovative offense.
Yes, she's very interesting to watch. She's going to be a lot of fun to put up on screen and show what she can do, especially in front of a mass audience. She's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoys her because she's a sweetheart. It's great.
Yes, she is. She's a really
bad. She's really bad at scheduling, but she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking a pain in the ass. But
anyway, Breezy Bree. She is a MC that is now a wrestler and also started, I would say, around the same time frame, maybe a month off. And she's also very interesting to watch in that ring. A girl who was told she would never make it in the MC world, she did. And they were told her she would never even make it in the pro wrestling world. And now she's in WYW. And it's going to be very interesting to see how those clash of cultures and also clash of styles are going to fight in the ring.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to see a nice mix-up for once.
Especially when you throw this third lady into the mix.
We talk about
Johnny, tell us about her.
Well, Vamp Candy is a wild card, and I mean that with all due respect to Ian Lancaster.
But she's a little,
a little screw loose.
Yeah. Definitely the Nick Switchblade style girl.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy,
Uh-huh.
She can get brutal when it calls for
When the chips are down and everyone's out, she pulls out a chair and beats everybody that doesn't have chips. That's the only way that I can put that.
Yep.
You don't have ruffles? You bastard!
Oh boy.
More like you forgot to buy chips, even though I sent you to the chip store to buy the chips. I guess there's a chip store, why not? She will then pick up the nearest object and beat you with it till you are a bloody mess on the ground, and then ask you, why are you a bloody mess on the ground? Did you learn something?
Yeah, I learned. Well, I don't want to say what I actually learned.
I learned that I need to buy you chips so you don't beat the shit out of me. And then this is a nice clash of styles. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match. All of these, obviously, Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere, but in elimination style, Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere. So
just because we like,
it's a three-way dance kind of scenario, which is going to be very interesting to see.
It's going to be interesting to see people not try to stop pinfalls.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't want to stop that one because I got to stay in this. So it's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay, next match.
That being said, we go to the next match, which is... Oh, man, this is going to be one where there's a lot of bad blood.
My relationship with my mother?
I don't think we want to go there, Nate.
I think I kind of did.
Can we not? Can we just pretend that never happened?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Rewind. Anyway, lot of bad blood here. Rachel Stump versus Brittany Rochelle versus Joanna Ramos.
I have no comment for.
So first off, Rachel. Oh boy.
No comment. No comment.
So I am. She's friendly with me.
Of course she is.
A lot of people do not like her.
Yeah, she is.
And
she's not the only one.
She is.
She's kind of a loud.
When it's time to go and she wants something, she will do any. She will win by any means necessary.
Except for the obvious way to win.
But that being said,
yes,
she's going to be a very interesting factor. in this first round. Okay, I gotta cut this out now. But anyway, that being said, we talk about her rival, Brittany Rochelle. Oh, man. These two do not like each other.
Obviously. Would you?
Flat out. They do not like each other. They've hated each other for a long time. We won't go into the reasons why. They can do that at a later date, but
they can do whatever they want.
There's some bad blood there, and they have competed for titles in the past, and they will be competing for another opportunity at a title again. And Joanna Ramos, who has had a blood feud with Brittany Rochelle, and also got screwed out by Rachel in Shining, which is a female pro wrestling league. Oh boy, this is going to be a very, very interesting match, and probably one of the more brutal matches because of all the bad blood.
I agree.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting scenario. So, guys, definitely keep an lookout for that. Next match is going to be a clash of styles here. A mat technician versus a brawler versus a mixed bag of the two. Liz Gray, Deanna Tommaso, and Rebecca Rose. This is going to be different here.
It's going to be interesting.
I
do not really know these women too well, so this is your cup of tea, good sir.
Lizzie Gray battled cerebral palsy to be able to walk again. And a lot of people didn't think she would be able to do that. She did. Now she's wrestling. And she's a damn good one at that. Very technical, very ground-bound, but also can go into the air when needed. So it's going to be a very different kind of wrestling.
Would you say it would be interesting?
It will be interesting. Deanna Tommaso, a former MMA fighter, a former boxer.
Yes.
A great, how would you say?
She's great.
She's great at what she does, which is basically punching your face in until there's no teeth
Okay,
left.
hopefully it's not my face.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit in the face.
Yeah, you kind of need those teeth.
But she's going to play a very pivotal factor in this match. And Rebecca Rose, the suplex queen, I would call her, knows how to do, and she does these suplexes in trios and calls them, as she calls them, the rose petals. She does them in fisherman style.
She does know that roses have more than 3 petals, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope so.
But
because that will be really awkward.
She does do 6 of them at a time, usually, just in different variations. I have seen her do them in fisherman style, into regular style. I have seen her do regular style into German style, and then I've seen her do one of those regular 3, and then all 3 at once right after that.
All right, I'm gonna kind of.
So she always hits them in 6s, which is going to be a very interesting thing to see in this match. We'll see how she works with this. What?
She also doing a missionary and doggy style.
Oh, for crying out loud, Nathan!
You can cut this.
No, I'm not cutting this. Too late now. We haven't had these women signed for a cup of coffee, and you're already making me use innuendos. Really?
Dude, you have no idea where my mind goes. No, you could honestly cut this, though.
I'm not cutting it.
Why? That's so fucked up.
Well, you're the one that said it.
Moving along.
No, but seriously, that would look really bad if you actually put that up and just putting that out.
Fine.
I'm just fucking helping you out, okay?
Alright, fine.
I only said it because, God, you made it so fucking easy. Anyway, as you off.
That being said,
move on to the last match.
This is going to be a very interesting match. The twins, or not really twins, but sisters, Jen Vasile and Alicia Vasile, who
are going up against
Vera McGarden.
So, Mike Alexis' fiance.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
The fuck?
Yeah, right?
Wait, really?
Yeah. She wanted in.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But at the same time, these two ladies that she's fighting up against may double team her. They've been women's tag team champions all over the world. And that is going to play a very pivotal role. Because once they eliminate her, it's down to those two. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. So if Vera has a shot, she has to eliminate at least one of those women.
Yeah,
it's going
definitely.
to be interesting. If Vera McGarden, the fiance of Michael X, used to train in Japanese dojos all over the world. And she is a force to be reckoned with in this ring. And for those who have not seen her, you are going to. And you are going to be shocked. With that being said, that is what is to look forward to in the future in WYW Round 2, Episode 1. Also, Casey, if you could make the announcement of a certain debut.
Oh, yes. You have been waiting and watching for...
The videos are finally going to be 1080p.
Yeah, well, that too. But, God, y'all have waited, what, 2 years for this? To see this happen? Finally, January 10th, Episode 1 of Round 2 airs. A certain Mark Edward Fishbach, Markiplier himself, finally makes his debut as the co-general manager of Weymouth Youth Wrestling. What can we expect from the man with the pink mustache?
Probably a Let's Play.
I would pay money to see him do a Let's Play in the middle of the ring.
That would be amazing.
I would pay money for this.
And then don't hate me on Mark.
But in all seriousness, I think Markiplier actually came in because he thinks this is a really interesting project. I think he wants to see it through, and I think he's going to take this very seriously.
I hope he does. I mean, those of you who don't know, Markiplier actually did some wrestling of his own back in his high school days.
Yep, top of his class at Ohio State.
Yep.
And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Markiplier brings to the table alongside Jim Cornette. It's going to be a clash, kinda, because out of all people that Jim Cornette decided to pick, it was honestly a polar opposite to work with them. And maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know, but...
A different view upon things, if you will.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Sort of like what Paul Heyman was to Vince McMahon when he first came into WWE.
They both worked in wrestling.
It's very true. This is a whole different thing. I mean,
this is completely
Mark has done some amateur wrestling, but he's never really worked in pro wrestling. So this is going to be...
He's never really stepped in the square circle.
Right. So we're going to see...
Square.
We're going to see some different viewpoints, really. And it's going to be very interesting to see what goes on.
Very interesting. I'm going to be watching for sure.
Yeah, well, you have to. You're going to be commentating with us.
Oh, shit, he's commentating with us?
Yeah, do you not remember?
I thought that was I'm kidding. I was about to say, I thought that was a joke. No.
Honestly, I thought I did too. And then I got the call from Jimbo that, hey, we're going to have you in on the announce table. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I get to work with these two bozos?
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
Well, welcome to the commentary team.
Making your way through the
day. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yes.
Hopefully I got some gin and vodka.
I'm gonna need some beer myself.
Sometimes I gotta go.
Am I the only
Get
one
drunk underneath the stage.
Drinking in my entire life is Mike's Hard Lemonade. Am I the only one that's gonna be sober enough to do this?
No, it's just the fact that
I can hold my liquor.
No, it's fine.
I can hold my liquor.
It's just the fact that you're a giant goatee pussy. So.
Oh, fuck off, Nathan.
I'm kidding.
Easy, bro.
I'm just busting your balls. That's what I get paid to do.
Let the man have his mics.
No.
Yeah.
Because we already have one in the company. I'm not putting any fucking more mics in the company. One and done.
Well, I mean, there might be one on the way, but I won't.
No. I told you no. I have enough problems with people with the same fucking names. I am not doing this again.
Is that why you don't like all the Chris's?
Yeah, there's so many fucking Chris's.
I know.
Where do
So
they
much
come
for.
from?
I mean, Chris is
Where do
a
they come
popular
from? Where do they
name.
go? Where do they come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Jesus Christ.
Chris and I, Joe. Oh God! Anyway.
Okay, so much for a one Steve limit. Anyway,
With that being said, the final thing we want to reveal is that this tournament,
It's gonna be a pain in the ass.
what, the women's,
In general.
but is going to be fun to see.
Yes, absolutely.
And then it will go to the semifinals. And then the male semifinals is going to happen on the same night.
Yay.
And a mini tournament for the tag team titles will happen on this night. Which leads me to my next announcement.
We have a tag team tournament.
And this is obviously, in case I kind of make the announcements. Yeah, no kidding. We have a tag team tournament. I just made that announcement.
Fuck, this is a fucking tournament.
We are having our first ever event. Mega event. First ever time. Gold Rush. The pay-per-view. The mega event. Will be happening.
Where? Say it.
It's
Or do you want
going
to say
to
it
be going
together?
back to TD Garden. And there will be 6 matches on the card for sure.
And
Already, it will be the semifinals. Whoever advances to the semifinals.
for both the male and the female division.
Yep. And the tag team mini tournament.
On top of
a possible novelty attraction. So, card is subject to change,
obviously.
but it's not really changing. It's
we're
more
going to
being
Boston,
added.
baby. We're going back to Boston.
It's
We're
gonna be-
shipping up to Boston.
Whoa!
We're shipping up.
Defy my wooden leg! Boy.
Any of you listening to this at home, turn it way up.
And also,
Fucking headphones.
Luca Lucky, shout out. Anyway, that being said, I think that's really all we have to cover on this edition of the WYW podcast. I hope you all enjoyed the first ever edition.
God knows I certainly did.
What about you, Nathan? How did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to do more because we get to chill out and talk about wrestling and not worry about alternate companies or
All that other bullshit.
alternate companies
I agree.
and alternate companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the main man, Nathan Farrar. I'm here with my good buddy, Jonathan Caterer, the Mike himself. And, of course, we got the Wrestling Encyclopedia.
Yes, I am the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher. Thank you all so very much for joining us on this inaugural edition of the Weymouth Youth Wrestling Podcast. Signing off for Jonathan Caterer and the main man, Nathan Farrar.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we're shipping up to Boston!
Whoa!
We're shipping up to Boston!
Whoa!
To Boston!
Whoa! We're shipping out to find my
Thank you all so much for listening, and so long from the Bay State.
My leg!